Charles, welcome to the sessions. I thank you so much for coming
It's a
down.
pleasure to be here, my man. It's really a pleasure.
You are such a part of history that
Thank you.
needs to be heard and needs to be understood, because what you've done, as James Brown said, the first to funk, you really kind of laid down the feel
Definitely,
and the groove with so many great musicians. Where did this all begin for you? I know New Orleans was where you were born. Where did
Well,
this begin?
I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, January 14, 1935, Charlottesville. But my parents lived in the French Quarter, 610 Dauphine Street. It's still there. It's one block west of Bourbon Street. And my mother said when she was 7 months pregnant with me, every time she'd be around music and everything, 'cause they have those jazz bands walking the street and parades all around
a lot of
the
music
French
there.
Quarter. He said I would jump in her stomach when she was sick. He said, this baby, because they didn't know what I was going to be those days, see, this baby like music, going to be a singer or something, this going to be a musician. And when I was about 4 years old, I was the third child. They had, my older brother and sister were for me the third. So the third child, you know how the third child want attention. And you got to create attention so your parent can pay attention to you. So I used to go in the kitchen and everything. So I'd be back there in the kitchen beating on my mother gumbo pots. And I liked the sound of the gumbo pots and everything, because, a 5-gallon pot or a 3-gallon pot, it sounded like
different tones, right?
Yeah, and what happened, it kept that sound. So, I didn't know what I was doing. I was playing in time, right time, so I'd be back. And my mother told my daddy, go back there and see what y'all's doing, beating on them pots. So my daddy came in the room and he stood by the door. And my daddy my dad was an immigrant from Santo Domingo, black Spanish. So he knew about these dances and stuff. He had the rhythm and everything. And he started dancing, I'm beating everything and all that. He started dancing when I'm beating on the pots and everything. And when I was 5 years old, he bought me a set of drums.
That began the journey.
That's the beginning of the journey. And what happened there, I'm beating on my drum and everything. And the neighbors used to complain, saying that, I know your son trying to play a drum, but can you kind of keep it down a little bit? And my father said, with his accent, he got to learn some kind of way. So, from the drum there and everything like that. After we moved on Bienville Street, in the French Quarter, I used to tap dance, and I would call myself tap dancing. My dad had a Victrola. You guys may be too young to know about a Victrola.
Victrola, you had to wind it up, yeah.
So he had it in the alleyway and everything. So I'd be out there tap dancing for the tourists and everything like that. And it threw me a nickel and dime. Like on a weekend, I used to collect like 60 cents. That was a lot of money for 60 cents a night. That was a lot of money for a kid.
And you were tap dancing and earning the money and drumming.
Yeah, but I would actually tap dance or whatever, threw me the money on the street. I'm tap dancing, little jig dance, all that. Wanted to be seen, in other words,
Right.
ego trip,
But were you playing drums at this time too?
Yeah, I was playing drums at the time too, yeah. But I'd be out there tapping. My father bought me some shoes, they had little taps on the shoes, and people clapping for me, everything. And one tourist, I think even from England somewhere, I know he had an accent, he said, oh, that little girl can dance. But I used to wear my hair long. I have a picture, I used to wear my hair long. They cut my hair off when I was about 6 years old. And he said, that little girl sure can dance. I said, I ain't no girl, I'm a boy.
You let them know nice and strong.
Yeah, because those days, they used to let kids have the braids and everything,
Yeah.
long hair and all that jazz,
So where did it go from playing drums at this level to now starting to become more professional? How did that get to there?
Well, I used to play little gigs and stuff with the musicians around my house and everything. But my big break was Roy Bird, Professor Longhair. You ever heard of Professor Longhair?
Absolutely, man.
Roy Bird.
Great music.
That guy, he started a lot of drummers in New Orleans, how to play and everything like that.
Yeah.
So Professor Longhair, drummer, was an older drummer, and he got drunk. He celebrated Mardi Gras too early. And so what happened was, they say, oh, Charlie take private lessons. Charles Connie, he take private lessons. Let's go see if we get Charlie. Man, the guy said, I got a gig for you. His manager said, I got a gig for you. I said, with who? Professor Longhead, man. I thought, Professor Longhead, man, I can't play no Professor Longhead. I'm 15 years old, you know. And what happened was, I got on the stage, you know, Fess used to smoke a lot of pot, the big old glass. I scared the hell out of you if you didn't know his ways and everything. I went on the stage, man, my hand was trembling like that. I was like I'm beating a roll on myself, so damn nervous and everything, you know. And so Fess looked at you. You know my number, boy? I said, yes, sir, Mr. Longhair. I know your number. He said, how you know my number? We listened to your record. Those days, we used to listen to records on the radio and stuff like that. And so he started playing I'm Going to New Orleans. And I said, Fess, can I play? I don't want to play. I'm thinking here, and I don't want to play with the brushes. Mostly drums were playing behind. The drummer played, Professor Long, he played the brush. I said, can I use my drumstick, please? He said, the rest of the drummers, they use brushes. I said, well, those days, we had a thing we do. We put our wallet on that snare drum, you know, and it kind of muffle it down a little bit and everything. Yeah. So Professor, he was playing, well, I'm going to New Orleans, man, I was scared. But I know the number and everything, so, you know, well, I'm going to New Orleans. I want to see the mighty ground. Well, I'm going, and Professor looked at me like that, and he started smiling. And when Professor look at you, and you smile, I mean, you in. And then I started showing off, then my confidence built up now. You know, I started showing off, I started playing louder and all that kind of stuff. It was a great experience playing by Professor. He had a tricky rhythm, man. You know,
it was that second line feel of what it was like.
Second line and that Caribbean, you know, all that kind of stuff. And the accent on the bass drum, you know. And I wound up playing, I mean, he liked me and everything. He requested for me to play with all around Louisiana, Mississippi, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and some parts of Alabama and places like that, you know. But I never forget, we were playing in Sunrise, Louisiana, playing the gig Professor Longhair in Sunrise, Louisiana. So Professor Longhair was in the back, we was on intermission, and he was smoking a joint, had a roach in his, and the cops came back there, the sheriff's department, one of the deputy sheriffs. I smell somebody smoking mooches, but just smoking pot. And Fess said, it must be that big fat guy over there. He looked like he high. Professor Long had swallowed that roach, and he had diarrhea for 3 days.
Oh my God! So safe to say, these road experiences that you were experiencing, playing music and just the life experiences, started to mature you for a whole professional career.
Yeah.
What was the next step from there after Professor?
But the next step from there, I started playing with Smiley Lewis. You ever heard of Smiley Lewis?
No.
Don't you hear the bells are ringing? Dun, dun, dun. He played guitar, you know, a big pot gut and everything. And Smiley Lewis, I played with a guy named Blaze the Boy. Another professional group was Shirley and Lee. Come on, baby, let the good time roll.
Right.
Come on, baby. And so I played a gig for them. We was in Tennessee, and it wasn't doing too well. It wasn't drawing much of a crowd. So what happened was, Little Richard was on 4th Avenue in Nashville, Tennessee. Little Richard was playing at the Club New Era, and we were playing at the Club New Orleans. And what happened was, so I seen a guy with hair on his head and everything, you know, I didn't know it was a man or a woman, stuck his head in the door, and he did like that, did like that, you know. I said, who the hell that is, you know? And the next night, Richard had about 200 people in the club, and we only had about 16 people, including the band and the bartender and the bouncer. So what happened was, he sent the guitar player 1 or 2 nights after, and he said, Little Richard want to see you, and he want to see the tenor saxophone player.
Interesting.
So we went and seen Richard and everything. Richard said, you guy from New Orleans? I said, yes, sir, Mr. Richard. And he said, you from New Orleans? He said, I like the way you play drum. I said, yeah. He said, I'm thinking about getting a band together, organize a band, and call it the Upsetter. Little Richard is the Upsetter. And I told Richard, I said, with all due respect, Mr. Little Richard, we had a decent meal in about 2 weeks, eating bologna sausage and pork and bean and all that stuff. And he said, okay, honey, you know, Richard, okay, honey, I'm going to sit out and get some turnip green and some oxtail and some sweet potatoes. And we ate, he fed us, you know. So what happened, he said, I'd like to take you and Wilbur Smith back to Macon, Georgia. I said, Richard, let me tell you one thing. And I'm being honest, I always was honest, you know. I got holes in my shoes, I got my pants is torn, my drums is in the pawn shop, and I'm about 2 weeks behind in my room in a little jive hotel. I said to myself, I said, man, he don't want me, I'm too much of a problem. He said, well, that's okay, honey, I'll take care of it. He paid my hotel rent, he paid got my drum out the point and bought me a new pair of shoes, you know. And to the drum that I was playing with at the club, that belonged to the club. You know, they have their own piano and club and everything. Right. So he said that, I want to bring you guys. No, I said, I can't leave. I have to get permission from my mother. I was 18 years old, and he was 20. I said, I have to get permission from my mother for to leave Shirley and Lee and go on the road with you. And I called my mother. I said, Mama, yeah, please. She said, I said, little Richard want me to, you know, go back to Macon, Georgia with him, and he want to be in this band called Upsetter. My mother said, is that boy with that long hair look like a woman? I said, yes, ma'am. Now, he wasn't all that hot at that time. He was hot around Tennessee and Georgia and Alabama. I said, yeah, Mama. And I didn't know what the hell I was saying. I said, yeah, but Mama, he'll be great someday. And then he brought us back to Macon, Georgia. And he said, Charles, I want to bring you to Trans Day. He said, I'm going to pay you guys rent for 1 month. And I want you to go by Big Maybell Cafe, eat this, sign the book and everything like that. Which, you know, but I'm going to do that for 1 month because my manager is booking these jobs. We don't have to deposit these jobs. So it took about 3 weeks. So I went to Big Maybell Cafe, and she said, Richard said, you guys can eat on a book, you know, this sign for it. He said, what you want, Charles? I said, because I wasn't used to eating like that. I took advantage in a way. Because he give me a half a dozen of eggs and a half a pound of bacon and 2 biscuits and a big jar of orange juice. And the woman looked at me like that, and the guy, the other musician, we said, you heard me say, yeah. You know, I had a meal like that a long time, you know. But after that, he said, Charles, I want you to come to the train station on 5th Street and listen to the train and tell me what you think about that sound of the train. So he brought me to the train station, and the train went off like, and it picked up beat. He said, Charles, what kind of notes are those? I said, Richard, those are 8 notes. That's the kind of beat I want you to play behind me day after tomorrow when we had rehearsal. Because you know, Richard too, it's all, and it sounds wonderful because we didn't have a bass player at that time. Because Richard didn't like no upright bass player. You know, eventually we got a Fender bass player.
Right.
But I'm doing this on my full, you know, I'm driving that beat and everything, you know. And what happened, and we had rehearsal a couple days after, and he said, that's what I want. And Richard playing the piano, and it sounded good with the drums.
Driving feel, I mean, it was really kind of, and was this dance music? Were these dance shows?
Yeah. Yo, the dance, even if he didn't have, he had a song out called, but he couldn't record that song, Tutti Frutti.
Yeah.
You want to hear the real lyrics to Tutti Frutti?
Are they clean?
No, they're not clean.
Okay, we'll hold them up till later on then, all right.
So what happened was, even Roy Brown, we playing Roy fast now, but I still had that beat on the up-tempos on the 4/4 song, you know. He wanted that. Millions of drummers is playing that beat today. I don't know where it originated from.
Yeah.
I created that beat in 1953.
The feel that he wanted for that song, you started playing it and you just drove that groove.
That groove, yeah.
Absolutely.
And then I found out later that sound was addicted. People leave the dance and you know, it was addicted sound. You can't get it out of your head, man, because Those days, they were playing like shuffle. He didn't want that. He wanted something they sang, but he didn't know how to explain it. And then you had the swing beat, you know, and then you had the fast domino beat. But he wanted that drive, and it sounds so good, that drive and everything.
So this is kind of the time, Charles, where the jazz music that happened early on, and then into that shuffle music, where it was changing over to that straight eighth note rock and roll drive. I mean, this is a major part of musical change, which you were right at the forefront of.
Oh yeah.
This is amazing. So, how long were you with Little Richard performing? You know, shows did you play? Was it a crazy schedule? Were you on the road a lot?
Oh man, we was on the road 10 months out of a year.
Really, it's amazing.
And we go home once a year, and we all meet out in Los Angeles, because Richard had a big home out in Los Angeles. And you know, I mean, he was so hot. Richard, we played something like 5 nights a week. You know, and when you play at the Howard Theater in D.C., or the Apollo, or the Royal Theater in Baltimore, Maryland, you play with 10 or 12 days, and you play 2 or 3 shows a day.
Amazing,
know?
Amazing. Were there other drummers that were influencing you that you were listening to?
Yeah, but let me tell you about the other drummers. Yeah, I like guys like Buddy Rich.
Yeah.
Swing, because I grew up Buddy Rich, Gene Cooper, like Cold Cole.
Art Blakey, was Art Blakey in there?
Art Blakey, yeah, with that press roll, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but you know something? Playing jazz, you couldn't make no money. I mean, playing bebop, you couldn't make no money.
Right.
But no money, you know? And a lot of drummers were ashamed to play a backbeat. You know why they were ashamed to play a backbeat?
Why?
Because it was so simple. They wouldn't play it in the middle of the snare drum. They play like on the rim shot. They didn't play, and they play it real light.
Yeah.
But I know where the money was, and I played the hell out of a backbeat and that choo-choo train beat and everything else. But a lot of drummers didn't want to play that.
But that drove the groove to a very different place that really began to change music.
Yeah.
Little Richard, you performed with many other musicians also at the time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But Little Richard was something that, you know, for the play of Little Richard was a hell of an experience. I know nothing don't last forever and nothing is permanent. But man, playing with Little Richard, heaven on earth. And the thing about what do you want us to do, I mean, pancake makeup, wear your hair. He said you didn't have to wear your hair all curled up if you didn't want to, but it's the option. I did it. I got my hair processed and all that stuff and a couple other things. You know, I mean, that's job security, you gotta remember.
Absolutely.
And what happened is we looked at different. So that's how we introduced rock and roll into the white clubs and everything. If we look like a bunch of gay guys, we didn't look like a threat. That was the strategy Richard used. We did not look like a threat. And they said, oh, let Little Richard play a bunch of sissies. And here comes Little Richard and sissies. We put up with a lot of that stuff, plus the prejudice stuff. You're playing rock and roll. They didn't want you to play rock and roll. They ran us out of town a couple of places for playing rock and roll. They didn't want you to play rock and roll.
Unbelievable.
But that's what we did to introduce rock and roll into the white clubs and everything like that. But Richard had a white audience, especially when he made it big, and also a black audience. I remember one time up in Amarillo, Texas, we were playing a place. They had one night for white and the next night for African American. But the white kids would come to the second night when the African American audience was there. They would be spectators to be on a balcony, and those kids would jump downstairs and start dancing for the black kids. But all due to Martin Luther King Jr., respect, one of the greatest men ever lived. But I seen back there in the 50s where these young kids start, you know, because music is international things. Those young white kids start dancing with the black kids, even though the policeman came and ran them off the stage and stuff like that.
What a different time.
Oh, a different time, yeah. I tell my daughter about that. I said, Dad, I said, yeah, it was like it.
That's
it was like that.
Yeah.
That's the way it was, you know. And a lot of people used to buy a Little Richard record. White kids used to buy a Little Richard record, but they say, oh, I want a Tutti Frutti, but put it in a bag. They buy it and put it in a bag so that nobody would see it. So I heard one case where this white girl was playing she closed the door, was playing a Little Richard record, and her mother was about to do it, and she said, the mother said, who is that? He said, oh, Mom, Little Richard. She thought her parents would get mad with her. He said, open the door, I like that. She likes Little Richard music. And you got to remember, Richard lyrics was funny. He's like a comedian. He didn't have no bad lyrics except for the other thing,
Yeah.
But his lyrics, long, tall Sally, seen Uncle John with long, tall Sally, down there, you duck back in the island, Lucille and Miss Ann. Those were real people around Macon, Georgia. Those was real people. He put that into his song, his lyrics. But Miss Ann and Long Tall Sally, Bald Head Sally, there was a woman named Bald Head Sally in Macon, Georgia. And she used to get drunk sometime and her wig would fall off. And she was bald headed. Yeah,
So this is an incredible story.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you had experienced, with all the traveling, some crazy times.
Yeah.
How did the motivational book, Don't Give Up Your Dreams, how did that come into place?
Well, I used to I do motivation speeches, do it at schools and things like that and stuff like that. Some kids think that, oh yeah, man, you guys had fun out there, all the women and everything, Yeah, but I said, wait a minute. You got to have the talent to play music. I mean, you have the gift from God to play music. You got to, I can't be no basketball player. I like to watch games. I can't be no basketball. It's 3 on 10, 5 minutes. I say, you got to practice a lot. You got to practice and have faith and have confidence in yourself. And you cannot be around people that will discourage you. Even if your friend, you may have to practice and say, oh, let's go out there and have fun and everything. You don't have to practice, no. You be around people that will support you and will have dreams like you dream. And that's where that book comes from. You got to have confidence in yourself. You got to be around people that will encourage you.
That's amazing.
But you got to practice, you got to rehearse, and you got to practice. You just can't do it like that.
So we have, a lot of the viewers that will watch this are, young kids that are looking to try to, break into the music industry or want to be inspired by the music industry and want to be inspired by what's happening. So what would you say to them? What would you say to these young kids?
These young kids, I say you have to pay your dues.
Right.
And the thing about that, you have to learn your instrument. You have to learn about sounds and everything. You got to learn how to record. You got to learn how to edit. You got to learn everything, not like it was those days when we can. You just have to learn how you play your instrument. But you have to learn to read music and learning to compose and learn how to do this in video. It's all different nowadays. It's so sophisticated nowadays, And you have to go to school. Go to school, music school or Boston Conservatory, Juilliard School of Music.
Anywhere, learn, right?
It's all about learning.
Yeah.
It ain't about being on that stage, you up there dancing and stuff or playing your instrument and people. You got to pay your dues. Now, when I was in New Orleans, the reason why I left New Orleans, a lot of musicians, great musicians in New Orleans, a lot of great drummers. I don't know, something about New Orleans. They just got that spirit, man. They got that second line spirit, and they have a lot of great drummers in New Orleans. So that's why I went on the road. I said, I got too much damn competition here. So I went on a road where I could be recognized, and that's how I got my break for Little Richard up in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's
but
amazing.
You got to pay your dues, brother, and no shortcut around it. You got to pay your dues.
Well, it sounds like the dues that you paid in this book, Keep-a-Knockin', it sounds like you put together a lot of that information in this book.
It's in that book, yeah. It's in that book. I mean, at first, like my daddy bought my set of drums when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And then I got a little interested in girls and stuff like that and everything. You got to have that self-confidence. And what happened, I wanted to be a preacher too. And you used to be preaching on the corner, where babies come, the baby come from the balloon. But I know I was attracting a bunch of nonsense, I said, yeah, I want to be. I said, no, I think I'll stick to the music.
You knew what you wanted.
I know what I wanted. Yeah.
It's obviously that you have incredible deep passion and desire to want to continue with this incredible music business, Charles. That's amazing.
But it's all kind of strategy too. I was engaged to Little Richard, so you got to think of job security. I married his sister, 1972. We was married about 10 years, lived together about 8 years. I mean, in the marriage, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got to think about job security. You got to know how to please your boss and everything. If you would walk down the street with a little rich and you act like you sham to walk down, you'll fire you.
Yeah.
It ain't just the talent, it's the attitude and the personality. And give respect to your boss.
You know, with all that you've done, and I know you want to work on eventually a documentary about this
I'm
story.
working on it now.
The story sounds like it must be documented that way, which is absolute magic.
Yeah.
In closing, what would you say to the young students? What would be a couple of important messages you would pass on to them?
Try to learn your instrument, try to master your instrument, and try to have your own style, try to be original so people can recognize you. Oh, that's such and such. And, you can, with your own style and stuff like that. And try to be around a lot of the positive people and a lot of practice and stuff like that. And just learn everything you can about show business, contracts, and all that stuff. And being a band leader and picking, if you have a band, picking the right musicians that have the talent that you're looking for. That's what it takes. So you got to be a dreamer. You got to create what you want in life, man.
So you're saying dream big.
Dream big, yeah.
And just go for it.
Dream big, because little dreams don't have no power behind
it. Well said, Charles. Well said.
Thank you.
But what magical history you have. It's absolutely a pleasure. On behalf of the Sessions, we thank you so much. Charles, you are the best.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm glad I can share that with other people. But another thing I want to say, let's respect, and let's respect the musicians, especially the drummer that didn't get the breaks.
Right.
They owe a lot of credit too.
They sure do. But it's amazing. And as this next generation watches this video, they get the chance to hear your message.
Oh yeah.
Hear your passion, and that will inspire them for sure.
That's right, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Dream big.